Welcome back. This is part 2B of the Inner Green Light message. If you're just tuning in, make sure you catch the first part. Otherwise, let's continue.
The falls, the fails, the rejections, but I like to call redirection, the pause, the wait, the stall. They almost chose you, but not yet. It looks promising, but they didn't give you the contract. It's just you just wonder, where is your green light? And then meanwhile, while you're just doing the best you can, you have all of these negative distractions. That's what I like to call them, just trying to take you down, trying to take your joy, your confidence, your smile, your poise, trying to take you down some notches so you can match their low frequency. And it just had me thinking like, wow, what what I'm just so spiritually confused. Here I am showing up, doing what I have to do, quietly celebrating the life of my mother, doing this new job. I don't live around here, travel a little ways to get here. I get home extremely late. I have to work in an environment where the person that's supposed to be training me does not speak to me, isolates herself from me, and because I'm a self starter, I'm talking and telling you this, but you better believe I still did my thing. But it would have been easier if someone welcomed me and showed me the way. Instead, luckily for me, I know how to find my way out. I will figure it out kind of person. Needless to say, it was very uncomfortable. And then when I had to work with someone else, I could see, oh, this person has changed. I could tell they were already influenced. And now it was starting to be little like hater recruiters, making it very difficult, testing me instead of showing me the way, standing to the sidelines waiting for me to get too flustered or want to quit or run to the bathroom and cry. I gave them nothing. And in fact, the last day that I worked there, the person that I worked with that day who told me, oh, he was hiding behind the thin veil of the union and his duties, I just let him be. And I made sure that even though he tried to shortchange me with tips because we pool, I made sure because he was really not even a bartender. There was short staff. He was a bar back and he picked up a shift. I still gave him what he was due. And I looked him in the eye and you could tell he was shocked. And little did he know that was my last day. I walked away, like I just felt like I don't know how this is going to work out, but my soul is demanding that I take a leap. My soul is demanding this environment has expired, lesson learned, time to go. And it could affect you. You could think that, and it's just not a good way to be. You don't want to put yourself in a situation that life just says, we gave you an out. You decided that it was money over your peace. You decided that wild commute you had to take late at night was worth your peace. And I ask you, what right now have you outgrown or is just urging you to make a choice, take the initiative in your life that is taking precedence over your peace? Because I'm telling you, you're going the wrong way. Absolutely going the wrong way. And it's not coming from a judgment, it's just coming from a place of love. I don't want you to go the wrong way. I want you to follow your inner green light and say, wait a minute, this feels like a red light. I need to take a pause. I need to take a pause. I need to take a pause from this, figure this out. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to take time for yourself, even if it sounds weird to other people. And sometimes it's not that it sounds weird, it's just that other people haven't given themselves permission to do that. No one told them they can do it. And that's a problem right there. It's no one tells you you have to put your pants on. You know you have to put your pants on before you leave the house. It's just certain things that we we believe we have power to do for ourselves. But when we look at the bigger picture, we don't give ourselves permission to see, wow, there's an even bigger world out there. There's an even bigger way of living, way of thinking, way of just celebrating our life. And that's something that you have an opportunity to do every day. And today, when I was just, I wasn't thinking about the place that I worked um, in a bitter sense. And some might say, well, you have every right to if it just kept getting dark, dark, and, they were disrespectful to you. They probably were racist too. Who knows? But I don't carry myself with a magnet to that mentality. I just like good people, working with people who are like, hey, I see you, I recognize you, let's win together. That's the type of person I am. And one of the things that I thought about today was, you know, people people with darkness, people who can only see the darkness, you can never convince them to be authentically cooperative. You have to force them, coerce them in some way to see the bigger picture. And those people are dangerous because they have no limits, especially when all you see is someone coming in your space as a threat. If you view someone like this person is going to get more attention than me, or this person is going to get chosen over me, and even worse, this person doesn't even care about me. They don't care what I think. They don't care. And you just have to be prepared that some people, they'll double down on the evil. I don't know how spiritual you guys are. I didn't like the visions I was starting to have. And I don't know if I was getting those visions in my mind because someone was trying to do something to me, or it was a warning of what was being done. And I believe if you, as they say, stay prayed up, you're protected from evil. And I never got those type of visions before. And then I said to myself, man, she wants you out of here badly. And it was just beyond the point of this thing is starting to affect my health. I'm going home feeling horrible, coming back. I'm still managing this new life without the presence of my mother. And I'm also at this peak of, my artistry, my books, and all these things, but just trying to balance life with an everyday job. And it was hard because you know for yourself, if things haven't taken off to the point where you cannot work, you have to be in the workforce. You just have to. Unless you have a successful Etsy shop or whatever, you strike it, you have to do something. And you just have to be mindful of how long you could really stay. Because when you're more of an entrepreneur and you're showing up in these spaces and you constantly evolve, you know, it's just a matter of time. And for me, it's just always worked until now when it's not working anymore to work a regular job. You, especially one that you could.
Okay, so we're almost there in part 2C. We are going to bring it home. I'll see you in the final part. Let's finish this strong.